President Trump is in New York today, where he made an appearance at the office of Letitia James, the Attorney General, to give a deposition. But it appears that what he did when he went in was he invoked his privilege, as is his right under the Constitution of the United States, under the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. To take us through this and other challenges the former president faces, we welcome now Greg Farrell. He's Bloomberg investigative reporter on our legal enforcement team. Greg, thanks so much for being here. You've been following a lot of these things all along. So give us a sense specifically what the proceeding was today.
Today is a civil case, as you pointed out, by New York's Attorney General Letitia James. And the purpose of her investigation, which is several years, is to basically determine whether or not the president abused, tax laws in New York, and particularly those regarding charities, to get around paying taxes. She's amassed a lot of evidence, and normally, as the president pointed out, when you take the Fifth Amendment, it's when you take the Fifth, it shouldn't be in a criminal case held against you. However, this is a civil case, so if and when this goes to a jury, I think it's not going to be a difficult case at all. It'll be a civil case. It won't. I think the New York AG will win a case against the Trump organization and the Trump family for overvaluing assets for the purposes of getting loans and undervaluing them for the purposes of paying taxes. That's not a mortal blow to President Trump or the Trump empire, but it will be a costly one. So that's what is happening today. There's the criminal case that now seems to be on hold in the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. But let's not forget that the CFO of the Trump organization, Alan Weisselberg, has been accused of crimes, tax crimes, and the Trump organization has. That will go to trial, if not later this year, then early next year. And that's very important as to whether or not a jury decides to convict Mr. Weisselberg. That will not reflect well on the president. Whereas if he's acquitted, that'll be a vindication by President Trump that he's been hounded by a bunch of over-aggressive prosecutors. And that's just here in New York. There's several other things.
Exactly. I was going to say there are cases all around the country, including some in Washington, D.C. One of them, we had a D.C. Circuit yesterday rule again, I think, that the House committee can get access to his tax records. And then, of course, there's that search warrant that was executed by the FBI earlier this week. But for most of us, that would be overwhelming. At the same time, Donald Trump, the person, has been in court a fair amount of his professional career, has he not?
Yes. Lawyers for him. He actually doesn't go to court that much. And as you can see, it's very difficult to get him to actually testify under oath to say something. Even in the Mueller investigation, he and his legal team insisted that special counsel Robert Mueller submit questions in writing. And rather than go to war, Mueller accepted that. So it was much easier to parry any questions Mueller had through questionnaires rather than put him in a box, and have him swear an oath to it. Yeah. So the things that are still going on, yes, the FBI raid about records. Yes, go ahead.
Net, it's good to be his lawyer, provided you get paid. Thank you so much.